Do Christians have to agree about everything? If not, how do we decide what's necessary and what's optional? Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Friday, August 19th, 2022. All this week, I've been talking about some of the paradoxes and polarities we encounter in the Christian faith. Is there such thing as absolute truth? There are ongoing debates about this in philosophical and cultural circles today, but from a Christian perspective, we do believe there is such a thing as absolute truth. It's one thing to say it, though. It's quite another thing either to define it or to say how we know what the ultimate truth is. To say nothing of the question, what do we do when people disagree about it? Our Book of Order contains a short section called Historic Principles of Church Order, which lays out, as the heading suggests, the fundamental principles which inform our approach to being church. The language is a bit antiquated. After all, it was written in the late 1700s, but it is not so antiquated or convoluted as to be indecipherable. One of these principles stakes a claim that there is such a thing as truth. It says that truth is in order to goodness, and the great touchstone of truth, its tendency to promote holiness, according to our Savior's rule, by their fruits ye shall know them, and that no opinion can be either more pernicious or more absurd than that which brings truth and falsehood upon a level and represents it as of no consequence what a man's opinions are. On the contrary, we are persuaded that there is an inseparable connection between faith and practice, truth and duty. Otherwise, it would be of no consequence either to discover the truth or to embrace it. This principle is stated in a way that it makes it a little hard to grasp on first reading. What it says is that there is an inseparable connection between what we believe and what we do. No real surprise there. But it also claims that there is such a thing as truth, just as there is such a thing as falsehood. The really compelling statement, which, though written almost 250 years ago, feels very contemporary, is the idea that believing truth to be up for debate is absurd. Believing that truth is up for debate is absurd. Still, people claim that even today. Or perhaps I should say, people claimed that even 250 years ago. So if there is such a thing as truth, what do we make of the fact that people disagree about what the truth actually is? Now there's the rub. Get two Presbyterians in a room and you'll get at least 3 opinions about the truth. And I say that only half tongue-in-cheek. People disagree about what the truth actually is every day because, surprise, surprise, we are not God and cannot claim to fully know the mind of God. But that does not excuse us from seeking after the truth. That's why the very next principle, the opposite end of this polarity, is this, that while under the conviction of the above principle, we think it necessary to make effectual provision that all who are admitted as teachers, that's me, be sound in the faith, we also believe that there are truths and forms with respect to which men of good characters and principles may differ. And in all these, we believe it the duty both of private Christians and societies to exercise mutual forbearance toward each other. This is the principle we call Adiaphora, Greek for the word indifferent. We recognize that while there is such a thing as truth, people, good people, may and do differ regarding what it is and what it requires of us. We therefore leave room for disagreement, even about important things. So again, here's the rub. How do we decide what is necessary and what is not necessary? That's not easy. If it were, things would be much different. The search for truth is more like an ongoing search rather than an object on display at a museum. Just because there is truth out there doesn't mean that at any given time we have a grasp of exactly what it is. That's why we give room for disagreement without giving up on each other. Tomorrow, a look at the polarity within human nature. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.